embarrass you?
You want to embarrass me? Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but Dr. Gokhale has won this year's Outstanding Teaching Award of the university. So a round of applause to him.
Oh my God, that is embarrassing.
Cheers! It's a soda.
Congratulations. Yes, cheers.
Very well deserving. Yeah.
This is water, by the way. It's not gin and tonic.
Tea.
I won't show mine.
Well, I think it's a double sweet occasion for our department because it's such a unique time. One department has got two faculty members from one department have received awards for our university this year. So it's kind of cool, I think.
Yes.
And the college as a whole, I guess.
Yes.
So
good. Yes. Congratulations. Oh, I see Miles over there. Hi, Miles.
Hey, Dr. Zarb.
And Param, how are you? Flavia, how are you? And Chuan, Cici Chen too. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Sarah, I don't think we've met before.
Oh. No, probably not. No, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And Jenny, I don't know. We've never seen her before either.
No.
Are you new? First time here?
First time caller. Yes.
Good. And Gianna, hi. Pleased to meet you too.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Dr. Jenny, do you know Gianna? She is also for our working. Yeah, you know, I think I told you about her when we were
We've met, I
for
believe,
spring.
twice, but I haven't had to have a cool conversation with her. But I'm digging her mermaid painting.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Big fan. Big mermaid fan.
I love mermaids. Patel, I'm so happy to see your mug.
Oh my God.
Are you up north, Param?
No, I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah, so not too north.
We have Dr. Sundar Raghavan with us from the college faculty. He has graciously accepted to talk about the MSAF program, right, Shri?
Yes.
We have Dean Gibson from the college. It's a big honor to, she just joined us just a minute ago. So welcome, Dean Gibson.
Okay.
And we have Dr. Janet Tinoco, who joined us. It was very selfish of me to request her to join us because we have so many cool things that happen in her capstone class, not just at the grad level, by the way, but also at the undergrad level, right, Dr. Heinbaugh?
I would agree.
And so she should get some kind of a recognition, particularly in front of all the prospective and current students of the college. So I thought it was very appropriate, and we're really honored that she could spare some of her time to be with us. She's just finished teaching a long class, right, Dr. Tinoco?
Thank you, Dr. Gokhale. Yeah, it was a very long morning. We're getting ready to present to Space Florida. I see that Shri is online right now, and we're getting ready to present to them next week the MBA capstone project. And it has, it was a tremendous effort, and the students did really well. But certainly the challenges of now presenting remotely, we're going to have to practice a little bit more. But it was a great morning. Thank you.
All right, so Shri, you're the host.
Right, I guess we can get started.
You might want to launch us off in this information session.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 moment.
Right, as he shares his screen, I just want to take a minute to thank all of you to come at our information session. I can see some of our current students, like Chin is here, some of our current undergraduate students, like I see Mariano, I see Oko, I see Nathan Hubbs, obviously Nishit is here, and Param is here. So then we have another category of people such as Miss Sarah Lewis, who's here, and all of you are so important to jointly contribute to the success of the College of Business Master's program. So welcome everybody, welcome and thank you for joining us. Over to you, Shri.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Gokhale. And I would like to repeat and reiterate what Dr. Gokhale said. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Ideally, we would want to do this in person, but we're going to try and make sure the information gets to everybody. So welcome to the graduate program info session, and we'll just jump right into it. Well, before we get started, I think it's important to highlight, this is our second roadshow that we're doing virtually. We did our first one back in March, and it was a success, and we decided to do it again. And we're so glad so many people were able to join us this second time. So some of the programs that we offer in the College of Business is, especially in the graduate level, is the MBA in Aviation Management, and the MSAF, or the Masters of Science in Aviation Finance. And the MBA has several specializations, everything from airline management to airport management to aviation systems to finance and to supply chain. As an undergrad, and several of you are probably finishing up your undergrad as a junior or a senior, and what we have as a flexibility for you guys is the ability to enroll in our accelerated program. And how that works is you get to take master's classes as an undergrad, and it saves time for you because you get a head start. You get to do some of the core classes, and we'll get into the curriculum specifics later in the PowerPoint. But you get to take 69 master's credits that would be counted towards your undergrad as well as your grad. And of course, GPA. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you yourself were an accelerated program student, and Oko is an accelerated program student, and so is Nathan Hubbs, who are here with us as the audience. You want to say very quickly, and we should pull in Dr. Heinbaugh in this, because she's the undergrad program coordinator, and we've had certain experiences in which certain great experiences and some not so great experiences. So you want to speak about your experience really quick?
Of course, like Dr. J said, I was an accelerated student. It really helped me get a taste of what the difference is between an undergrad and a grad class. I think you'll really see the lectures are different, the classwork is different, the dynamics of the class are different. So as an accelerated student, I think that's very important. Apart from the fact that you can save money and time, these are some of the most important things that I got out of being an accelerated student, is the getting acclimated to the graduate program, which is quite a jump, and it's a step in the right direction.
Right. Before we move on, Shri, I would request you to keep recording the video session. I think we forgot to do that at the bottom of your screen. Yep, there. Okay. And Dr. Heinbaugh, would you like to say a few words about the accelerated program in general, especially for the College of Business undergrads at this stage?
Sure. I think that the nice thing about the accelerated program is that easy transition. You're already used to the faculty in the college. You'll have an opportunity as an undergraduate student to take BA 520, 511, and 514. The great thing about it is those are both qualitative and quantitative classes. So you really get a chance to kind of jump into that MBA space, but still be an undergraduate student, which I think is really kind of neat.
And so if you're a College of Business undergrad student, your first line of defense would be Ms. Shan Patrick. She was supposed to be here, but probably something is holding her back. And Dr. Heinbaugh. Dr. Heinbaugh is supposed, so you need 2 letters of recommendation. And typically, Dr. Heinbaugh is so considerate that she's written a lot of these letters. She's written one for Oko, I know that for sure. And also for Nathan Hubbs, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And so they take out their time and do the work for us and make sure that our students get accepted in the program because they're so highly qualified, those who get accepted in this.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Shri.
Yep. Speaking a little bit about the accelerated program, so this info session is catered towards students from the College of Business, of course, but also from the students from the College of Arts and Sciences. So we have several combined accelerated programs, as you can see, and it helps students from different majors to be able to, get started with the MBA program. And this PowerPoint is going to be available for everybody attending today. I have attached the links for you to be able to check out the syllabus for some of the classes that you can take in the specifics, but we'll get into all of that and cover all that in this presentation. Okay, so one thing that we take pride of in the College of Business is our connection to the industry. Several of our professors are very active in terms of their interaction with industry, their publishing. All of our students that graduate still maintain a connection with the college. It really helps organize things like conferences, networking events. So just to cover some of the things that are happening in the college, the starting salaries for graduate students from the OCOB is between 60K to 130K. And several or almost all of our students have one, if not multiple job offers by the time they have completed their MBA or their master's in aviation finance. Just to cover some of our highlights from the summer of 2019, here's a group of students who interned in different companies. As you can see, we have a variety of companies, everything from OEMs to airlines to students who are working in the US, who are working internationally. And these are some of our interns that were able to have the experience of going to work for a reputable company and then coming back to combine that with their master's lecture material. It just enhances their overall educational experience.
Can I add really quick? In fact, some of these companies hire so many of our students. I can give an example of Isabella Picardo, who is currently applying for internship. And there are so many of our students applying that these companies have asked the students themselves to write up their profile based on the job description they've sent. They're so swamped by the number of offers of our graduates that they're making for internships. So we have just given you a representative sample of interns here. Almost everybody gets to rub shoulders with somebody from the industry at some stage when they are pursuing their MBA or MBA AM or MSAF. And
Absolutely.
Back to you, Sri.
Yep. But those are interns, but I think more importantly, we have to talk about some of the full-time offers that we get. And the picture you see here is a list of graduates, not from 5 years ago, but just last semester. They all graduated in December of 2019. And these are all students who are very high achieving, who have been through the MBA or the MSAF program, and now currently work for airlines. You can see Delta Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Qatar Airways, of course, Textron, Northrop Grumman. And to the left, you can see all our students with our interim dean, Dr. Abdul Ghani. He was able to, again, join us today, and he'll definitely talk to you guys, I'm sure, at some point in the presentation. But this is just some of our recent graduates and where they have decided to take their career path.
Again, sorry to interrupt you, Shri. The man on the top left here is Matthew, my assistant, he was in Shri's boots just last semester. And he interviewed at 4 places. Now I don't have any shame in discussing them: United, Delta, FedEx, and Southwest. And he got an offer with Delta, which was the best offer for him. So who knows where Shri will be in a year and a half from now.
Okay, so like I said, the industry connection is something that's very important, something that we take pride of in the college. And one of the things that we have is, and this is what separates an undergraduate class from a graduate class, is, yeah, there's going to be lectures, there's going to be the learning element side of things, but what you learn is going to be applied to real world material. So for example, Zero G is a company that's a consulting company from Frankfurt, Germany. And this class was propelled by Dr. Longshore and Dr. Arnott. And through their connections, Zero G was able to give a project to the students. And this class is a class called BA 699. It's a special topics class. And they work on several different projects. It's not the same project every semester. And one of the things they worked with Zero G on ancillary revenue. And they working on Latin American airline market. They worked on the North American airline market. And they worked hard the entire semester, and the final results were presented to managers from Zero G, who flew down to the class to listen to this presentation. And the key thing is that as soon as they submitted their work, and as the clients were satisfied, the students who worked in this project were offered full-time jobs. And one of our students who was in this class, who participated in this project, she currently works for Zero G in Frankfurt right now. So,
by the way, can I also share a story about that student? Her name is Yamini Saraf, and she's technically still not completed her full degree. So she requested me to come back and take an online class before she graduated, because she did not want to let go of this job offer. It was so cool. So who knows, some of you or all of you will get some similar kind of a job offer even before you're ready to graduate. And that's the time when you come to people like me or Dr. Heinbaugh and request us to kind of let you slide into an online class so that you start working at the same time as you're finishing up your degree. And we would be very delighted to serve you in that respect.
Of course. Okay, and I think this is the best time to rope Dr. Tinoco in as well, but I can give a quick summary. if you do pursue your MBA, you have to take a capstone class before you graduate, and the class is BA 635. And what's unique about that class is, again, the project experience. And luckily this semester we get to work for a company called Space Florida. They're down in the Cape Canaveral area. And one thing that I want to mention is that this class consists of several individuals with different backgrounds. And we all get to go to restricted spaces to work on things that are going to innovate and reach new frontiers for the future. And it's a semester-long project. In fact, we just finished working on that project this morning with Dr. Tanoko. And Dr. Tanoko, you can definitely come in and say a few words if you'd like to. But you know, in the background, you see pictures of us. This was our site visit, and it's really what we get to work on. What's really happening in the industry currently. So, Dr. Tanoko, a few words.
Oh, that was well done, Sri. Really well done. Yeah, everything that he said was spot on. The fact that we're doing some space efforts now for Space Florida is an exciting opportunity for everyone. But if you're not interested, there were several students who weren't really interested in space as much, but space and aviation are highly tied together. So there's a learning experience either way. The past 2 semesters, we've done these capstone projects with Space Florida. We're also planning one with Gulfstream, probably in about a year. We're planning one with an FBO as well. So there's actually a wonderful queue building with respect to doing consulting projects. And we do them in a number of ways. I know that Zero G was just discussed. Dr. Longshore does a number in his master's classes, including with Lean Six Sigma. I'm not sure, Sri, if you're going to talk about, you are going to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So then I'll just stick with capstone then. It is incredibly important, I think, for everybody to walk out of Embry-Riddle with an industry experience, and whether that be through internship and or through capstone. It makes you highly competitive in the industry, and these are exciting projects, and they're fun, and it really builds quite a networking opportunity no matter what part of the industry you want to go into. So
thank you.
Well, we'll request Dr. Tanoko to join in a little later as well for another cool thing that happened in the college last semester. Just last semester. Isn't that really amazing?
Yeah, absolutely. And so continuing on some industry achievements, which are quite key to highlight. Yes, there are several of our interns who interned with some of the biggest companies in the aviation industry, as you can see in the slide. But one thing that we do is using the industry connection is make sure we go on field trip. So this past semester, we were able to go visit the United Airlines hangar in Orlando Airport. And students get to go visit these places that are quite unique. It's not possible to go visit these facilities unless you really have somebody who's, you know, either an alumni or a good contact. And students get to go here and visit the facilities. And if that's something that's of their interest, they can pursue that too. So definitely something that we need to highlight. Apart from site visits.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
Can we request Dr. Zarb to quickly talk about our Business Eagles program, which spearheads all these industry visits?
Of course. There's an entire slide on student organizations. I'm sure Dr. Zarb can definitely come in on that.
Perfect.
Absolutely, yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So apart from site visits, we also have conferences that students get to travel to. And what's exciting about conferences is that, first of all, you get to meet industry experts and network with them. But second of all, the school tries to help you out financially to be able to fund these. So your entry fees are going to be waived. You know, the Dean of Students and the SGA and several other facilities on campus are going to help to reimburse you on your flight ticket costs, because these are going to help you, you know, go achieve your dreams professionally. And students, for example, were able to attend the CAPA conference. CAPA is a prestigious conference. They have a database that's used by almost everybody in the aviation industry. I'm sure you probably had to use it at some point too. And they publish a lot of articles. And students were able to go to this conference, present some of the research that they've been. And Philip and Gracia, some of our graduates who graduated in 2019, were able to, you know, attend this place and present and meet several industry experts. So
we had Anna from Sri's class. Sri, you know Anna?
Of course.
She was supposed to go on a conference in Ireland this summer, but unfortunately, because of all the situation that's going around the world, we had to cancel that. So we have tons of conferences, and she's going to talk about more conferences in just the next slide.
Of course. So continuing on conferences, I'm sure some of you would have heard about the MBAA conference. It's the biggest aviation conference in the world. And this past year, it was in Las Vegas and West Palm Beach. And, you know, being the biggest aviation conference, business aviation conference in the world, you know, we got to go attend this conference and network. It's a B2B conference, so it's really not a place where you get to go and submit your resume. But, you know, as students, we're able to go and work on our networking skills. And several people in this picture have gotten, you know, interviews or final jobs because of attending some of these conferences. So they're very key. So speaking of student organizations, we have several in the College of Business. We have the Airport Club. These folks are very passionate about aviation. And Dr. Yu, who takes care of this student organization as an advisor, she was able to take the students on a tour of the Orlando International Airport. They've also been down to Miami and several other airports. And it's a quite active club, as you can see. It's a growing club with a lot of individuals who are very passionate about aviation. And talking a little bit more about other student organizations on campus, we have the Student Advisory Board. We have Delta Mi Delta, which is an honor society in business. We have Phi Beta Lambda. We have the Finance Club that's starting up soon. But I guess this is the perfect time to talk about the Business Eagles. And Dr. Sarb, if you'd like to say a few words about it.
Sure, I'll be happy to. Well, the Business Eagle group is mainly aimed at putting students in contact with industry. So we started this program way back in, I think it was 2011. So it's been very successful. And the reason, again, is to have students rub elbows with members of the industry. We hold, I mean, first of all, to be eligible for participation as a graduate student, you have to have a 3.5 GPA, typically after your first semester. And after that, of course, you become a full-fledged member of the Business Eagle program. During the year, we offer a number of activities, for example, site visits, meeting with the Industry Advisory Board, which happens typically with the homecoming activities, October, November in the scholastic year. We do hold training sessions with career services, you know, how to write a resume. We hold etiquette dinners or lunches. And what's really important is that we do have, at very regular intervals, special days. So for example, you could have like a Textron Day or an Emirates Day or a Southwest Day. And what we do is we practically are asked by these companies for them to come on campus and talk to students. And the reason they want to talk to you is because they've got jobs, whether they're internships or full-time jobs. And as Dr. Gokhale has referred to, one of the biggest advantages that we have is that our students, especially graduate students, typically find a job before they graduate. And that's a very, very great advantage. So you're getting something out of being an Embry-Riddle student in the O'Malley College of Business. And so the idea is for you to network both with us as faculty, but most importantly with people in industry. And even because we get students who might have their own contacts. So we entertain any type of contact with industry because after all, it's going to benefit you, the student. If you have any questions on the Business Eagle program, I'll be happy to answer them.
I want to quickly join in here and talk about Dr. Yu and the project she's leading. It's a worldwide benchmarking study of airports, and she's a part of a group called the Air Transportation Research Society, or the ATRS, which hosts a big conference, an international conference every year, in which our faculty participate. But more importantly, she and her assistants actually are spearheading a project. Every year, they bring out a list of the best airports in the world. And Atlanta Airport, which is a busy airport, surprise, surprise, sometimes is not the best airport. And So these airports actually come back to her and fight. Oh, I didn't get the best position. What happened? What's wrong, etc. So it's pretty cool how well known that project is internationally in the airport circles. Over to you, Shri.
Thank you. Okay, so we're moving on to something that's called Lean Six Sigma certification. And if you're somebody who's interested in supply chain and logistics and procurement and how things move and how parts move in the aviation industry, this is a certification that is highly recognized in the industry. In fact, if you do go into the industry and company that's involved in this area of the business, they're going to send you back to a place where you can go get Lean Six Sigma certified. And in the O'Malley College of Business, we both have the yellow belt and the green belt certification. And green belt certification was the first time it was offered in the fall of 2019. Several of our participants today were students, including Dr. Cheatham, who's an integral part of our university, Dr. Tanoka, who just spoke to everybody, Jessica, Isabella, and I was also there, and several of our graduate students who have graduated. And it's a very important certification, especially in supply chain and logistics. And we offer that for students in the College of Business. So.
And there's one person who's actually working with Dr. Longshore, that man at the back with the green shirt, who's pursuing her yellow belt, as a black belt as we speak. So black belt is like kind of like a no less than a PhD dissertation, and a lot of work goes on one-on-one with another person who has a black belt, and so he's advising her on her black belt right now.
Absolutely. And just to add one more thing to this slide, apart from getting the examination done for the Lean Six Sigma class, you get to work on an actual project. So we had a partnership with a local small medium enterprise in Daytona Beach. It was an oil subsea drilling company that used to manufacture parts for several of the companies in the oil industry. And Dr. Longshore was able to, advise us, and we worked for a project for them all semester, apart from some of the other things going on. So it's a certification along with a project where you show a positive return on investment. So for you to get certified, it's quite a process. Okay, so this is something that we really, really are happy to talk about, and it's something that's probably the biggest highlight in the graduate program, and that is our first ever student, my friend Ryan Babb, who was advised by Dr. Tanoka, who presented his thesis, and this was the first time in our college's history. And Ryan worked on it for a long time. Dr. Tanoka can definitely step in and talk anything she wants to highlight about during this process. But the more important thing is that if you are doing an MBA, you can either do the capstone class or do a thesis. And the flexibility or the option to do a thesis is available for everybody. And if there's anything Dr. Tanoka wants to say, she can. If not, we can move.
Thank you. I wouldn't mind saying a few words. Like it was mentioned, this was the first thesis that we had in the College of Business. And the nice thing about the thesis option is that you can really focus on the particular area of research that excites you, that you have a passion for. So it's either the thesis or you do the capstone project. For Ryan, he chose the thesis because he wanted to delve further into spaceport readiness. And again, what I mentioned earlier was aviation and space are tied together. So he could use not only the skills that he learned in the MBA program as far as the aviation side of the world, and then he could also benefit from using his undergrad was actually in commercial space operations. So he put that together and developed a wonderful, very innovative scale on spaceports. He and I were supposed to present this actually in Texas in May, and unfortunately that was canceled. But we hope to publish a paper together within the next year. So there's much you can do with a thesis option. It just depends on your interest.
Thank you, Dr. Definitely a huge achievement for our college. So for MSAF students, something that they really look forward to, if that's something that they want to move towards in the aviation industry, is
so
that.
Shri, sorry if I can interrupt. The Master of Science in Aviation Finance is a STEM degree. So if you're an international student, you need to know that you will get a longer optional practical training period for this, unlike the MBA and the MBA AM. And we're going to ask Dr. Raghavan to jump in really quick once we finish talking, because he's the expert on this. And the cool part is this degree is also extremely job savvy. So people pick up students really quick. I teach the worst class of this program, the Fin 620, which is kind of crazy. So students tend to take it in the end. And by the time they reach my class, most of them have 2, if not 1 job offer. So it's extremely hard for me to motivate them and encourage them to study hard for my class. And so back to you, Shri. You were in this ISTAT conference in Austin, Texas, right before the outbreak, right?
Yes, just before the outbreak. And this is when things were getting a little bit rough, in terms of the virus. And, even though we had the scares of the virus, we had about 2,000 people attend the conference, and we had 14 to 16 students attend. So we were able to meet the big players at one spot in one location. It was in Austin, Texas, and we all got to go and network with some of the industry experts. We had mentors who were assigned to us, and we were able to follow them and see how business negotiations are conducted. So this is our chance to get full-time jobs, and everyone made the most use out of it.
So if I can stress on that fact that Shri just said, each and every one of MSAF student who is in this conference is assigned to a mentor, one industry person that you work closely with, that you are tagging, and you actually shadow them and understand exactly what a day in their life is when they are interacting with other industry professionals. So you could be typically breaking bread with somebody over a $3 million deal and financing of that thereof. So that's big. That's really big what this conference does.
Absolutely. And I think this is an excellent time to bring Dr. Raghavan in. Talking about certifications, we also have the appraisal certification, aircraft appraisal certification. Now, this is more towards people who are in the industry who like to come and get certified, but we do allow lots of students to enroll in this program and get certified and be able to appraise aircrafts. And we have the CFA certification. Also, some of our students are pursuing the level 1. There's 3 levels, and if you can see the picture, Dawei Yu, one of our star students, was able to go and recruit for the MSAF program in China. He's somebody who's working his way towards finishing his CFA certification, which is one of the most difficult certifications in this world. And one thing that we do in the college is that we provide scholarship for students to be able to sit for these exams without having to, pay the fees. And Dr. Raghavan, anything else you'd like to highlight? It'd be a great time.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wanted to start embarrassing Dr. Gokhale a little bit. I mean, because this is a big deal. I mean, a lot of you would probably know Dr. Gokhale to be a great, program coordinator, also a great teacher. But, what happened recently is that Dr. Gokhale was voted the best teacher, not just in the COB, but for the entire university. This is a big deal, and we are all very excited. So I wanted to do this before I get into the MSAF program. I'm going to count to 3. I want to try how this works in the online environment. And I want you to give a big round of applause for Dr. Gokhale, and then we'll move to the MSAF program. You guys ready?
I'll take a screenshot of that too.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. It worked well. Congratulations, Dr. Gokhale. I hope I didn't embarrass you too much.
Oh, God. Thank you.
I think Sri kind of talked a lot about the MSAF program, and so did Dr. Gokhale. For a lot of you, we at Embry-Riddle are all about aviation. So when we developed this program, it was around 2014, we started developing this program. This is a very unique program. In fact, there is only one such program in the entire United States. In fact, when we started the program, we were the only program, and the aircraft leasing industry, as some of you know, is located in Dublin. And UCD, University College of Dublin, kind of mimicked us, and they started their own program after we did because they thought this was a great idea. And as Dr. Gokhale rightly pointed out, for those of you who are international students, this is a STEM degree program, which means your optional practical training, instead of getting 1 year, you can get up to 3 years if you're working in the finance industry. So when And the other part of it is the ISTAT university program, which we do, is kind of tied into the MSIF program. So it's part of the 2 electives you take as part of the MSIF program. And with the ISTAT university program, we are very excited because, usually you would teach courses and go to industry and say, hey, our students have the skill set. In this case, this was in reverse because industry came to us and said, hey, we get all these students into the aircraft leasing industry and they don't have the skill set. Because we are very specific and unique. Can Embry-Riddle develop the curriculum for us? And so to give you a little bit of history and story, they, some of them on the ISTAT board were from Purdue, some of them from Embry-Riddle, and they said, well, we want to give it to both institutions, so can you guys jointly develop the program? And we said, sure. We don't want to share it with Purdue, but that's the way we're going to get this program, that's fine. And Purdue looked at the program and said, no, this cannot be done, and Purdue dropped out. And so they came back to us and said, can you do the entire program? I said, yes, definitely. And so we kind of developed the courses for them, and it's very unique in the sense that we have a lot, the industry wanted to be involved. We have a lot of expert interviews. So it's very different from a regular, course, academic course you would take, because we go to all the ISTAT university conferences, we interview experts, and the experts' videos are tied in to the course. I see Nathan on there, so maybe after I stop, then Nathan can add a little bit more. And the mentorship program has worked very well. So ISTAT wanted to be really involved. So every year they assign mentors. We were so glad this year because before all this mess unwinded, the students were able to attend the ISTAT conference. My daughter was not very happy, saying that, why are you at a conference when this is happening? And so, but we all survived. So but it was a great experience. So I'm glad for the students. They did, got that wonderful experience. And so, in fact, a lot of the industry experts, when initially they were very skeptical, they said, oh, we don't have the time. You don't understand. This is not a regular conference. We come here to do business. And I said, hey, this is something you are doing for our students. And now what happens is every student goes to them and says, oh, you were so-and-so. I saw you on TV, on the video. You're so great. And then, they all seem like, for them, they all feel like rock stars. And so they come back to us and say, can we do more? Because we didn't realize the impact this is having. So it has been a wonderful experience throughout. And so what we do is that every year, if you're registered in the ISTAT University program, you get to go to the conference, and they, for most part, we try to make sure that you're funded. We try to find resources not only for you to go, but also for your accommodation and travel, so that nothing comes out of your pocket, but you get the wonderful experience. So a little bit about the other professional programs we offer. We offer the aircraft appraisal program, the ASA program, and that's also been a big money earner for us from the college, but also it gives you an opportunity. A couple of the students are also enrolled in that for free, so you get an option to enroll in that. So that's been very successful as well. So I will remain, and if you have any specific questions about the program. Oh, by the way, ISTAT also funds scholarship. We have the regular graduate scholarship program, but ISTAT also every year funds scholarship for the students. We get up to 3 scholarships, so you can see a picture there. And you can see the checks and the amount of scholarship. And
wait, Dr. Raghavan, this is what happened in fall 2019, just 4 months ago, guys. I was there in December 2. Look at that, the date. This is big. And these scholarships, Dr. Raghavan, why don't you tell them, this is not there. They could have earned a lot higher in terms of that scholarship, right, Dr. Raghavan?
Yeah, I mean, we have had, I think this probably was the lowest amount in total, because we have had scholarships up to $75,000 a year. So each 3 people getting $25,000. Most of it goes to cover your tuition. It works exactly like your graduate scholarships or assistantships. So it's been a wonderful add-on to us. So it's been great.
And guess what these 3 people are doing right now? They're all having jobs. So the one in center is at Pittsburgh Airport, and the other two are back in China, and they all have a job. So that's how industry oriented the program and the scholarship is. It's a big deal. Back to you, Shri.
Thank you. And just going to cover the curriculum, and I'll be brief, and everybody will have access to this PowerPoint, and also have my email if you have any questions. But these are the core classes you have to take if you're an MBA or MBA in aviation management student. We have ops research, we have strategic marketing management, we have accounting for decision making, managerial finance, organizational behavior, aviation economics, and business policy and decision making, which is the capstone class. And several of the professors who teach these classes are here today. Dr. Zarb teaches the accounting class. Dr. Raghavan, Dr. Gujla, and Dr. Adhikari teach the FIN 518 class. Dr. Gokhale teaches, and Dr. Vasik teach the BA 523 class. And Dr. Arnad and Dr. Heinbaugh teach the organizational behavior class. And Dr. Wagispak teaches the marketing class. And some of the specializations, looking at them specifically, we have airline, airport, aviation systems, finance, and supply chain. And you all have specific classes that you have to take to get a specialization in these categories. For airline management, to take a 609 or 650, and you can see some of the rest of the classes that you have to take for each of the specializations. Now, talking specifically about the MBA in aviation management. Why? And this is a unique degree. One, because it's not offered anywhere in the world, only in our college and only at Embry-Riddle. Second of all, if you do get an MBA in aviation management, that shows up in your degree. So when you graduate and when you get your certificate diploma, it would say MBA in aviation management, whereas a specialization in an MBA would just show up in your transcript. So that could be a huge differentiator for some people. But apart from that, it can open to several career opportunities. Getting in specialized MBA in aviation management, you can go work for the airlines, the airports, the OEMs, consulting companies, authorities like the FAA and EASA and IATA, several of the supporting businesses like supply chain and leasing. So it opens for several opportunities.
If I may add, the MBA in aviation management is extremely international in scope. People actually take a leave of absence in their job to be with us. I can give an example of Shri's classmate. His name is Ton. He's from, help me, Thailand or Indonesia, one of these two countries. He works for an airport. He took a 2-year gap just to come and study this degree with Embry-Riddle. It's that big.
Definitely. So the MSAF program, as you can see, the core classes sort of differ from the MBA, but there's a significant amount of overlap. And if you look at the optional electives, if you want to enroll yourself in the ISTAT program and be able to attend these conferences and learn about aircraft leasing, the two classes you need to focus on is FIN 623 and FIN 624. So those are your ISTAT classes. So you take FIN 623, which is usually offered in the spring. You would have FIN 624 in the fall, and you do an internship in the summer, and you would satisfy the requirement for ISTAT for that portion of your MSAF.
And we have Chin in this group right now in the audience. He's doing a FIN 699 class with me. So he didn't get tired from my FIN 620 class, which was terrible enough already. So he wants to do advanced econometrics and statistics in this class. So you could do that also. You could do special topics. Dr. Raghavan advised a very good student of ours last semester. Her name is Sloan Churchill. Last year, I beg your pardon, in spring. And she is working as an aircraft appraiser. She was so inspired by the program in general and by Dr. Raghavan's style that they published a paper, and she's working and using hands-on these techniques that she learned with him in the real world.
Absolutely. So I guess we covered specifically about the ISTAT program. Of course, you have several modules that you have to complete in the process. And then the scholarships is the biggest thing for our students. And 3 to 4 students get awarded scholarships, and it can be up to 75K, which is huge. And what's also important to, we covered this, but several of the individuals who are with the students here are industry advisory board members. And I'm sure some of you are familiar, especially if you've been an undergrad and in Embry-Riddle. The industry advisory board is a collective group of industry experts who are here for the college and for the students, who are guiding them on how what the industry expects from some of the graduates from the College of Business. And to the far left there, you see Damon D'Agostino. CEO of Zephyrus. It's a leasing company, and he has contributed significantly for the iStaff program. Definitely someone we should recognize at this moment. And you see Dr. Gujra, who's on a sabbatical this semester, but he's also someone who's propelling with Dr. Raghavan, focusing on iStat and aviation finance on all the courses related to those areas. So this is a picture of our amazing graduate student body. It consists of several individuals with different backgrounds. And one thing that we really try to emphasize is, the ability to be one as a community, to be there for each other, whether it may be to be able to help for academic advising, whether it may be for, networks or connections to go get a job, or just personal matters and, just having a friend. Several of our graduate students come with work experience, several, if not decades of work experience. And that just adds the flavor to the discussions in the graduate classes. It enhances your learning opportunity having some of these individuals, and it's a contact for the rest of your life. And some of the information we presented here might seem overwhelming in the beginning, but we're here to help you to get through planning your courses or the classes you need to take, or anything you'd like to hear about overall in the graduate program. And so at this point, I guess we can
let's go back. Sorry, Shri. That's where we need to bring in Gianna. Gianna is not even in our MBA program yet, but she's going to be a part of this picture, hopefully next year when she's ready to graduate. Gianna, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to talk about the scholarships? And so what is in it for you, a new applicant? Jack, you're listening. We spoke about this. So Gianna, why don't you talk about the funding opportunities for MBA and MBA AM and MSAF students in general, working with the professor, etc.
Perfect. So basically, since I am transferring from COAS and I've already got my master's, I'm in the process. I graduate in May. So all that I was required of me was to have my GRE score and have a pretty decent GPA, over a 3.5. So I had the ability to go for an assistantship due to having a GRE and getting 2 classes a semester paid for by working with the College of Business. So I just...
Oops, we lost Gianna there, I believe. Choppy internet connection, can't blame that. Gianna, we were so impressed with her in the master's program with her credentials. And since she's already on the campus, we decided to hire her before she even joined. And it's incredibly proud to have her on the team already before she starts her MBA, because she now gets a perspective of what we're about, what the college culture is, and what the program does in general. I wanted to bring in our leader, Dr. Gibson, at this stage to say a few words to our MBA aspirants, our current students, and the rest of the panel in general. Dr. Gibson.
I had to find the unmute button, sorry. Every one of these programs works a little differently. So first, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here and listen to the program. I'm going to say this out loud, although I was about to send an email to it. Shri, you've done a great job.
Thank you so much.
You've really represented the college and our programs exceedingly well, and I appreciate that. I also appreciate that all of you were here, because I think you'll get no better view of our program and what's important to us and what are the outcomes you can expect than from people who were actually experiencing them firsthand. So you're talking with the faculty who will be teaching you, but more importantly, you're hearing it from someone who, after this is shut down, you can send Shri an email and say, hey, tell me the skinny, is this the real story, or are you showing me a glossier view that might not be quite right? And I think you're going to see when you talk to people that this is real, that the people who are here care greatly about our students. We care very much about the success you have in pursuing your career after you're done with us, because in the end, you are our legacy. You are our reputation. And so we have this vested interest long-term in seeing you do well and do better than others, quite frankly, because we're this quiet, small program down in Florida that not everyone's heard about. And I seek, as the dean, to change that. And the best way I can do that is when you go forth, for you to be really successful and tell everybody where you came from. So best of luck to all of you. I hope we see you here in the fall. I can be accessed as well. Shoot me an email, I'll respond. expect that I've only been here 1 week. My answers may not be great yet, but I do look forward to meeting all of my current students and hopefully some new students as soon as we get started in the fall. Please take care, be safe, stay healthy, and good luck.
We have, thank you, Dr. Gibson. We have one more surprise element in this entire presentation. And we have another current student. Now, this is not like Shri. Shri is an MBA student. Gianna is an MBA student. And his name is Miles Nathan. And I would not hesitate in saying or bragging that Miles Nathan was a COAS student as an undergrad. And we literally snatched him from there to make him our MSAF student. Miles, would you like to say a few words about your experiences and where you're going in the future, next semester, anything else, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So I just want to say, yeah, I'm an MSAF student. All the information, all the resources they talked about, super true, super valuable. I've had such an awesome experience in my 2 years in the College of Business. Next year, I'll be pursuing a PhD in finance. And if I hadn't done these 2 years doing aviation finance, I probably wouldn't have realized that that's what I wanted to do. So it was all of the faculty and the classes, learning with other students. And it was just a really great experience. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you like finance or you like business.
And so what's your future, Miles? You're graduating in spring, I believe.
Yeah, I graduate summer A actually. And then next fall, I'll be going to the University of Florida in Gainesville to do a PhD in finance.
So yes, somebody's asking us if we can do questions. Shri, you can maybe give me the host controls back.
Yes, I can. And while we do that, I'd also like, we had Miles Nathan, who's an MSAF student. One of my other friends is also here today, and he's an MBA student. I guess we can also let him have a few words to say. Nicholas Pombo is here with us. It'd be anything you would like to say about your tenure here in the MBA program?
Hey, yeah, sure. Thank you for the invite. It's an amazing program. I'm graduating in May. I have a couple of years of work experience before coming. I used to work for network planning in an airline in South America. And I think this program is just like the perfect spot after a couple of years of work experience to continue pursuing my passion for aviation, for airline management. I'm a network planning passionate person. I'm actually, after graduating, I'm going to American Airlines to keep working in network planning. So yeah, I think this MBA was like the perfect match for my resume, for my life, for my passion, for everything. So if you guys are gonna pursue an MBA, don't think it twice. I think it's the perfect thing.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Okay, we will open up the floor for questions. But before that, I want to give this control to the most important person of this roadshow, and that is Ms. Flavia Cajido. This is such a unique opportunity to find the top leadership of the college. Program coordinators, for those who are accelerated, Dr. Heinboy is here, and Ms. Flavia is here. There is no other place that you would find all these people sitting down together simultaneously and talking about how cool our programs are. And it would not be possible if it was not spearheaded by somebody from admissions, such as Ms. Flavia. She's the director of admissions, and she takes care of all the paperwork with her team in order to make sure that you smoothly transition over into our program. So without her, it's impossible for all of us to keep our sanity together. So over to you, Ms. Flavia.
Thank you, Dr. Gokley. Thank you, Siri, for this presentation, and thank you all the faculty for attending and for showing up. I love doing these info sessions with the COB because of the faculty attendance and the students. In case you think my name is familiar, yes, that's me. I'm the one who writes to you those many emails inviting you all for those info sessions. It's my job to make sure you are informed and you are aware of this great opportunity. Where else, as Dr. Gokley said, where else would you find all this faculty available to give you all this information? I'm hoping that I can get the names of all those that are attending today, right, Dr. Gokley, so that I can send this great presentation. I will be sending information about the admissions requirements for the MBA in Aviation Management, as well as the Masters of Science in Aviation Finance. Just a couple of reminders. Yes, we are in charge of the admissions process and assisting you all the way. I have with me Ms. Laura Wallen, so you may have received some information from her, and I have two great student assistants, Priyanka Patel and Sam Marush. Our graduate admissions office is located behind the Lehman building. It's the S building, so it's very easy to find. However, I'll leave you with our email in case I miss any of you and you want some information, you're too excited to get that information. Our email is graduate.admissions@erau.edu. Again, that email is graduate.admissions@erau.edu. And our phone number is 386-226-6176. Although we are all practically working from home, yes, I will answer your call. I'm here for you. So with the email that I'll be sending to you, you will get an application fee waiver code, because Embry-Riddle students, I'm not sure if you are aware, you do not need to pay for your master's degree application. The code is STAY, S-T-A-Y. I made it very hard. It's a STAY. So make sure you share it with all your Embry-Riddle friends, okay? If we have any attendees here that are not from Embry-Riddle, just contact Graduate Admissions. Say you watched this great presentation, and I will send you an application fee waiver code. We try making things easier, especially for Embry-Riddle students, and we'll be able to waive a few of the admissions requirements based on your GPA. We are looking for students with GPAs above 3.0. And if you have GPAs above 3.2, we'll be able to waive even more requirements. The application process is fast. You would submit an application online. We would, as soon as we get all the documents that are required from you, we forward that. If we can't make the admissions ourselves, the admissions decision, we'll forward that to Dr. Gokley. What else I have to remind you? If any of your friends you know couldn't be here today and are looking for that information, please let us know. Please share all this information with them, okay? And I think that's it. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, graduate.admissions@erau.edu. Thank
Ms.
you.
Flavia, there's one question for the two of us, I believe. What are the application requirements for students who wish to participate in the Accelerate program? And
Great question. Okay.
I believe you have the answer to that.
Yes, I will actually be sending that form also with the information on the MBA, the MBA and MSAF. So there is a form out there, simple form. We just need to check with you a few things in terms of the term you would like to start your master's degree, your GPA. If you have a 3.2 or higher, it's easy. If you have above 3.0, we'll still try getting you into the accelerated program. It's a great opportunity. If you still if you're in your junior year, if you have above 75 credit hours of undergraduate courses, that's the good time for you to apply for the accelerated program. It's like I said, it's just a form. Fill out the form, send it to us. There is no more trying to gather signatures. We will do all the work for you. We just need you to fill out the form, send the form to us. And we also ask for 2 letters of recommendation. We want to hear from the faculty that you are, in fact, a good candidate for the accelerated program. And that's it. That's all it takes, the form and 2 letters of recommendation, and having at least 75 credit hours.
So a couple of Yeah, this is perfect. And a couple of questions. What about aviation business administration students? Can they participate in the accelerated program? Not at this time, but we are making that change in the coming academic year. Hopefully, if everything goes well as expected, Gianna and Shri will be helping me put that together, and we'll be sending that application off to our campus curriculum committee for further approval. We were just waiting for our senior leadership. That is, you just heard Dean Gibson joining us in our team. Once we get her blessings, we will get that done. What are the chances of becoming a GRA? Good chances. We have up to 17 positions during a academic year, but not all of them are available. Sometimes we have 6, 7, and Shri helped me, maybe 8 this year. We were just putting together numbers. We still haven't received our budget yet from the university management. Once we hear that, yes. What do you look for in a GRA? Well, we do look for something which is related to your merit. That is a good GRE score or a GMAT score and a good GPA in undergrad with some classes that match with your professor's requirement who you want to work with. One more question is from Paul F. Does the same code apply to the worldwide campus? And Ms. Flavia will answer that question. I don't know the answer.
Actually, for worldwide, they handle their own application. So my best advice to you is contact the worldwide campus directly. Just like we are doing now, we are waiving the GMAT for Embry-Riddle students with certain GPAs. I don't believe the worldwide asks for the GMAT test, and I think they will require your application. I apologize, I'm not really sure about their requirements because, like I said, they have their own counselors that will guide you through the process. The application is the same. Just be careful because if you want worldwide, you have a different application for that. I'm hoping that you guys are going to want the Daytona Beach residential program. I'm biased.
Sorry, Ms. Flavia. Yeah, that's why I deflected that question to you because we're hoping really that you get the in-person experience, and a lot of our students, current students, can give example like Connor Gwynn is a student who's going away to Seattle, and there's Anna. She's a flight instructor in the College of Aviation. All of these people are actually aiming for taking some worldwide classes, but supplementing their education with on-campus real-world education so that they can rub shoulders with industry professionals, get hands-on experience with people like Miles, who's here, people like Shri, who is here, and learn something and hopefully get a job even before they graduate. Kind of like we talked about Yamini Saraf, who's working with Zero G Project. I mean, we have tons of such examples in which students get their jobs even before they've completed the final semester. So help me, what's his name? Who is with Textron, Shri?
Garrett.
Yeah, so these people have all got their jobs before they were ready to leave the campus. So worldwide, sure, you can do some classes online and still be counted as a Daytona Beach campus student. Let me make that clear. So you could Sri's taking one online class as we speak, and he's still a Daytona Beach student. So you could do that. But we request and urge you to be an on-campus student to have that hands-on experience. Right, Miles? Am I wrong in that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with online classes and it can be really great, but I think having the hands-on and classroom experience and discussions are just, there's nothing like it, so.
Dr. Gokley, I just want to, just one more thing. Miles is correct. There's nothing wrong with, about worldwide online classes, but there's a misconception there that I hear from many students that they think it's for some reason easier to do online courses. And you have to be very careful about that because all those hours of face-to-face are converted to online. So yeah. It's the same, if not harder sometimes because of the time that you need to be on the computer and doing readings and things like that.
Right. And Shri, you want to add something about this, the worldwide versus on-campus classes?
So definitely I want to reiterate, having the classroom experience is going to be everything because that's what differentiates, having a master's and having a bachelor's. The discussions, what you discuss in class with the individuals, some of them are experienced. They talk about specific scenarios they had to deal in companies. And so it's good, but with the virus going on and, the uncertainty of when we'll get back, Dr. J, do you want to say that, if people do want to get started, they could start online, or I don't know how you want to.
Exactly. Yeah, you can start online, and some of our students, like Christina Offlegger, is starting, right, Miss Flavia? She's starting summer online and then joining us on campus in fall. So you could do that. CC asked a question: is MBA lecture based or case study based? I'm going to defer to three experts who are with us, Shri, Miles, and Nicholas, to quickly answer CC's questions.
Thank you.
I'll be the last one.
Okay, why don't you go first, Miles?
Okay, so it's like definitely a blend of lecture, case, project, you know, everything. I mean, you do a little bit of everything in class. There are cases, there are real world projects, and there's a lot of discussion as well. So it's sort of molding everything together to sort of like, you know, like a case might enhance your knowledge of like, and then you can use that to do like your final project and stuff like that. And same thing with the discussions. So it's a little bit of everything, definitely.
And sometimes you get to write your own exam in some classes. Nicholas, you want to talk about that? How you wrote your own exam once upon a time?
Oh yeah, that was for economics. We were the ones building like the class methodology. We were the ones in charge of the own progress of the class. But I also wanted to mention that there's very important, although it's lecture, we also have projects. Like Miles says, I was part of a project 1 year ago, probably with a company who came to the university after this to hire people. This one is Zero G, which is owned by Lufthansa. We did a consulting project with Zero G. We were selected by submitting our resumes. We were 6 of us selected by Zero G to do like a semester-long project, consultancy project with them. And it was amazing because we were actually working for Zero G, but at the same time we were having a project. We were guided by Dr. Longshore and Dr. Arnaud. They were like the ones supervising us, but we were the consultants. And we were advising Zero G what to do with one of their projects. So actually, it's very, very interesting. And I think those type of projects and classes teach you a lot. And there's been also a lot, like now with Shri, we are part of the capstone class, and we are also consultants. Like we are consulting Space Florida. Wow. And we constantly, like we present to Space Florida. We visit their facilities, we meet, like we build up like a whole project, and we are consultants at the end. It's very interesting. It's completely
Nicholas,
like you go out of the scope of the lecture.
Nicholas, CC, just like you had prior experience before joining Embry-Riddle, right? You work for an airline, correct? Nicholas, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Sorry,
CC works so CC works for an airport in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, and you work for an airline in South America, Latin America, if I'm not mistaken, right? So how does work experience help you in learning MBA?
Yeah, completely. Like I worked for Avianca, which is the second largest airline in Latin America. I worked for the network planning team, and this helped me a lot. Like I came to my first class. I remember my first semester was Dr. Abdelghani's class on network, and it was network planning and revenue management. My experience helped me a lot in this class, and actually Dr. Abdelghani appreciated my participation in his class because it was complementary to his lectures. So at the same time, we had a lecture, but we had amazing discussions in the class. We had I brought my experience from South America. We compare what like the things were done in the US or what his model or his lecture taught us. At the same time, I explained him how we did it on the airline. So it was great.
Okay. That's perfect.
And Shri, you want to close the discussion with your experience?
Just to add, I mean, like everything what these guys said is 100% true, but I guess it depends on the class you're looking at. An organizational behavior class is going to be case study oriented. But a finance class is going to be lecture based because not everybody comes with a finance background. So there's going to be a little bit of learning, but you're going to definitely move towards less of lectures and more of coursework and out of classwork. So definitely.
Okay. And to close that discussion, CC, when you take the finance class, if you take the investments class, Miles, you want to add to what happens in the investment class?
Well, I know you learn
trading game.
Yeah. There's a trading game where you get to simulate, having your portfolio so you can make all the mistakes with fake money first and really learn. Like, it's a great way to learn.
And he learned how to do programming in one of those iStat classes too, right, Miles?
Yeah. In Fin 624, which is econometrics, we use R to do statistical analysis, and each student collects their own data on some type of aviation related, either finance or economics, or some type of business project. And it's really interesting, and you get to do pretty much whatever you want. And it's great learning experience, and yeah, super valuable.
Perfect. All good.
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap this up. We've already exceeded our stipulated time by 11 minutes, and we apologize for that. But we really wanted to make sure that all your questions were answered and that nobody left this distinguished meeting without any kind of a dissatisfaction or any kind of a problem or a question that they had in their mind. Thank you all for coming. And if you have any more questions, I've actually, in the chat button, chat icon, I've put my office hours. You can stop by my office hours. Last time I had almost everybody stopping by my office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 3 p.m. at that Zoom meeting room. And Ms. Flavia would be able to answer any of your questions at the email address she's given to you. We look forward to receiving your applications, processing your applications, or taking you a step further. Thank you very much for coming, and take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.